Kim, calm down. It's just spilled milk. So Watchers on the Couch. Welcome to the Watchers on the Couch, Better Call Saul edition. We are a recap and companion podcast covering Better Call Saul in season 4. In our podcast, we recap, break down the episodes, look maybe for some Breaking Bad Easter eggs, have some jokes and laughs along the way. You can give us feedback to email Mike at watchersonthecouch.com. Visit our Facebook page, Couch for Watchers, and you can visit watchersonthecouch.com and onyxedgestudios.com for more podcasts and info about us. I'm Mike Daffron.
I'm Jimmy Lopez.
What'd you think about this episode, Jimmy?
My favorite of the season so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Clearly, you did not feel the same about that.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad episode. There's just stuff. I don't know. I'm feeling like underwhelmed about this season now. I really hope that episode 10 really pulls through. I don't know. I'm just not feeling real satisfied. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the Germans I don't give a shit about.
Okay.
Maybe there's some other things that I just think are moving a little slow. Which is like, I guess, the typical response of somebody who complains about Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Like, it's so slow. And actually, that's kind of the opposite of me. Usually how I talk about this show is I enjoy how I talk about how I like kind of how slow it goes, or it's not really how slow it goes, but how they hold on to certain scenes.
Mm-hmm.
They let it play out. The scenes aren't rushed. They feel more real. But I guess I'm just not getting enough character development or plot movement, story arc. I don't know. I don't have a good vocabulary and I'm a dummy. So I don't really know what to say.
So when I pulled up, so appeal scored is in sesh.
Ka-chunk.
Wow.
Whoa, that is a crazy gavel you got there.
So even up until today,
yeah,
this one had a 9.8 or a 9.7 rating as far on the DB.
On the Richter scale.
And there was only all the ratings were 10s except for this one, which was a 5. So maybe you're going to have some input like this gentleman, Jim Mullen, gave it a 5 out of 10 star. Just okay. Not sure why the hype for this episode. I've never seen anything with a 9.9 rating until this episode, which is pretty good. Has moments, but spends too long on Jimmy and Kim's pre-credit cold open. Scam that has little to no suspense and or urgency for the viewer. They're having more fun than we are, as often happens with Kim when Kim teeters to the dark side. The two lovers sometimes seem like they're part of an actor's workshop. Ooh, that's some rough shit right there. Lalo is a good new character and has the kind of askew Weasley charm needed to jumble things up for Nacho and his new boss, Gus, but this just feels like the beginning of something and not much more than that. On the other side of the spectrum, the German worker subplot involving Mike comes to a head, and it's interesting, which I'll say something about that later.
Okay.
But not all that intense, and for the most part, this is a pretty good episode, but mostly just filler, and hardly seems like the lead into the season finale. It's more like they're loading the proverbial gun than even beginning to really take aim. So next week could be quite a cram session, folks. Almost seems as though they're going to have to start from a different kind of scratch, given the idyllic response this week and last.
That sums it up better than I could have put it. I do agree with a lot of that. Yeah, I would say I agree with almost all of that.
Okay. I figured you would after I try not to talk to you about the show beforehand.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing I like to do with Chris on the other podcast that I'm on, Bacon and Knees.
Well, also because then if we talk about it right before we come on, then we're just going to repeat the shit we just said to each other, and then it's just going to sound weird.
Yeah.
We're just going to force it. So
yeah,
I don't like.
It'll be the
about
dog
before
clit
either.
all over again.
Yeah,
but
giraffes can jump. All right.
So, that's the only bad review, and it's not even that it's a bad review. It's that someone's just indifferent about this episode.
Yep.
And it makes a lot of sense, but really when you think about it, what made last season great was that there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened in mid-season.
Yes.
So you were able to have those slower episodes, but Kim getting into the car accident is still a scene. Like I can't watch that. It hits too close to home.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much for me. But even really the episode leading up to where Chuck roasts himself, hey, it's really just Jimmy just yelling at the screen for like 45 minutes. So, I like this episode. I have a ton of notes for this episode.
All right, good.
One other thing, appeals court, from last week. I am going to go through some screenshots that I took.
Is that for the elevator? Are we talking about that?
Episode.
There is an elevator.
There is an elevator.
Yes, I know there's an elevator. I'm still
there
watching.
There it is, right there.
Yep. They bring the drugs up through the elevator.
Yep.
And I know I just got done with the season. Yep. I just got done with the season finale of season 4.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's what it's from.
And that's where
he comes down and
Walt comes down.
Yes.
Yep, with the other guy down the elevator. It's so fucking weird to me. Like, where does that elevator even go to upstairs?
I went to the Reddits, and I'm not normally a Reddit person, but I went there, and a lot of them are theorizing that essentially it's the same way that you would get in. That the
okay,
that one of like the big industrial washing machines is covering up a massive I mean that's a freight that's a freight elevator.
Yeah.
So even whenever they're going around and they're sniffing the dogs around, sure the dogs aren't going to smell anything because the drugs are so far below ground and there's so much concrete between them, they're not going to smell that, especially going through a service elevator that if you look at that's sealed off really well. But
yeah,
did you notice that no matter when, because I watched several different scenes of them in the actual lab itself, that elevator is behind a wall and to the left.
Yeah.
So you have to like go through a wall, which there, I took a picture of one of them and I guess I deleted it, and it says enclosed area, only like you're only allowed in it through permit. Like there's a door that's to a really closed small area. I thought that was weird, but it's right next to that. To the left of that, you go through and you make a hard left, and the service elevator is right behind a wall. So that's why we never saw it for all the times we were sitting there jumbling up trying to think about where it was.
Right.
Because it was literally off camera behind a wall that you only see once or twice maybe.
Right.
So there's the definitive answer on that one.
See, and just, I don't know, it just doesn't add up where that elevator is, though, on the surface. As you say, it'd be a laundry machine, but right where the laundry machine that opens up and lets them walk down, and then if you're underneath in the actual hole, the lab, it doesn't match up where the distance is. So there's not another laundry machine back at that angle. There's just the wall and the shop ends. I don't know. Maybe I don't really care. Like I'm not gonna like nitpick that. It's just kind of odd that. I'm surprised I never really thought about it or noticed it, especially like with the dogs. That they had the dogs walking around. Gomez, is that right?
Yeah, it's one of the. It's smart writing because you don't think about it because it's not that it's not important. Yeah, but
far.
Yeah, far. Yeah. It's still they answer it, but it's so hell. I even went into the episode where he fucking slits that one dude's throat with the green razor blade.
Yeah.
I thought that they loaded, because I brought that up before, that they hauled the body out through the freight elevator. Well, they clearly did, but they don't show it.
Okay.
Because
be a little difficult to get that up 55-gallon drum full of liquid.
A spiral staircase, yeah. That he doesn't have the key to.
Yeah.
Because he tries opening up the door. He's like, hello, my key doesn't work. And they're just like, fuck you, bitch. You're not allowed to have a key to this bitch anymore.
Yep.
But, yeah. So, that's what I've got as far as appeals court.
All right, Jimmy, you were correct. Sustained. Overruled. Which one's the good one? Which one's the one where you get to continue? Overruled?
We're just going to have a short recess period
All right.
until the next one, and we'll figure that out in the next appeals court.
All right. We'll make sure we turn the lights off. We'll make sure there's no batteries in your pocket.
I'll put a big cracker next to me. Well, a biscuit, so that you can have a big thing to aim for.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a circle jerk.
Whoa. All right.
It'll be kind of more like a Dutch rudder, but...
Okay. What about German rudder?
That's our gavel.
This whole German thing is really just a freaking Dutch rudder.
Do you want to start with the intro first before we get to the Germans?
That's fine.
The bane of your existence, apparently. So before the episode even starts, I like to point out the movie that was playing beforehand. A-Team.
Oh, I didn't even know what movie was playing. I didn't see it this time.
The friggin' A-Team.
The new one,
yes.
Right? I don't know if I've actually even seen that movie. I'm guessing I don't need to.
No. It's awful. So it fades to black, and then it says coarse language. I'm like, we're going to get a fuck word. They're going to use the word fuck in here somewhere.
Yep.
So it opens up with Kim walking in on crutches. How did you feel about this bamboozle?
Slightly entertaining.
I thought
like that reviewer said. There wasn't a lot of suspense to it. I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. Like, it was like I enjoyed what they did. They did a good job at what they did.
I definitely enjoyed Jimmy walking in all nonchalant with a bag of tit juice, this fucking flippity flops.
Yep.
Being all like, hey, I can't figure this out. What are you doing? I have my 8-month-old out in the car. 8-month-old?
Yeah.
With a body as banging as that? You ain't got no 8-month-old.
I would disagree.
I put an 8-year-old in, or 8-month-old in her.
Whoa. I'd milk those titties. Where'd they get that milk?
It's probably just formula. They probably just mixed up some formula and called it tit juice.
Formula doesn't really look like that, I don't think.
She only wants me for my tit juice.
It's been a while since I have had to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
a year ago, I used to drink it all the time myself. Formula.
I love that one of my notes was, wow, that's some funky smelling tit milk. Something doesn't smell right. He's smelling it. And
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I absolutely that it killed me. I loved it.
With his Jimmy Buffett t-shirt on.
Yes. I enjoyed this cold open.
Yeah.
Yes, I could see how it kind of went on a little long. It went on. Ooh.
Milkaritaville.
Leche Rita. Ooh, sounds gross. I could see how it kind of went on a little longer than necessary, but we at least see now how she's going to impress her boss by doing the old switcheroo on some plans. So I got enjoyment out of this. I did. I really did.
I didn't think the scene was too long, really. I just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't seem like that reviewer said. It didn't seem like suspenseful to the viewers, or just kind of like, oh, all right, cool. There wasn't like high stakes in it or anything. Now, there will be if she gets fucking caught. But I don't know.
Like they said on the Insider podcast, you ever notice that anytime that she does something where she's doing something to help out her client or whatever, nobody really gets hurt.
Yeah.
She's not doing anything and purposely trying to. She's doing the opposite of Jimmy, where Jimmy was trying to like spill booze on the guy or get him drunk, whatever. She figured out a way around it to where nobody. I mean, hell, even the clerk, she felt better about herself. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this lady a solid.
Yeah, Shirley's a nice lady.
I should have asked her to make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, cut the crust off.
Just like Mama used to make. Dip it in some of that tit milk right there.
Delicious.
That funky smelling titty milk.
Oh. You milk my titties.
You're lactating, bro?
Mm-hmm. Look at me, bro.
That's a problem.
Beer comes out of it, though, not milk.
That's delicious.
It's beer milk. It's a Heffenweisen. Kim did seem to overreact just a little bit when the milk was spilled. I'm like, that's some overacting. Like,
but it seems like somebody that has taken like one or two community college acting classes.
Like,
she's committing to it.
It'd be on the podcast Hollywood Babylon with Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith about overacting. The little segment in there they do.
Do they?
Yeah.
So it's all Nicolas Cage all the time?
He's been in there. I think more than once. So, yep.
That's how you do it, though. That's how you get roles in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. He's had a lot of them. See, that's something we should do. You know, we don't need to watch Venom. So upcoming on the Watchers on the Couch, I'm going to do a little promo, stick that in there. A few of the Watchers crew is going to do a review on Venom. So
be on the lookout for that.
Look out. But what we should do is watch Nick Cage movies.
Okay.
I might be down for that. Okay. Maybe. Because I was telling Tim that I was like, doing the TV show or doing the movie stuff, it interests me only slightly. I'm not really,
But if we did like a Con Air special.
The Nick Cage movies?
Wicker Man special?
Yeah. I heard that Mom and Dad movie or something, whatever it is that he's in. It's like a horror movie or something. It's on Hulu now.
Mandy?
Mandy? Is it Mandy? That's Mom and Dad. Is there another one called Mandy?
Yeah.
See, dude, I'm telling you, when you get home, look up Nick Cage on Netflix.
Okay.
There's shit. Shit, we should just look up his IMDb.
Oh, it would be bad.
He might have a record.
I don't know.
Least record for shitty movies.
Not cool. Not cool.
One thing about this scene. So, Kim always has to fucking break character and do her little cocky smile.
When I didn't notice that. When was it?
When Shirley is stamping away.
Oh, okay.
He gives her a cocky little smile like, I did it. I'm so smart. Yeah. Oh, we got away with that. You guys are all dumb. So smart. Super, super smart. I'm fucking Kim Wexler. I'm Lumpy Space Princess. Jealous of my lumps.
You're digging hard on my girl this week, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's how she's gonna get caught.
You think? I'm at this point. I'll have to give it a 86% chance. She's definitely gonna flub up something.
Something has to happen.
Has to.
Think. Who knows? Maybe she just lives happily ever after. I mean, this isn't Game of Thrones, so
don't spoil any of that. I still haven't watched any of that.
Everyone dies.
Oh, motherfucker.
See, now that's why I like that show. The stakes are always high.
What about Little John?
Anybody can die at any time.
Little John, is he even in that?
Oh yeah, he's in it. He helps Robin Hood give to the poor.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Little Jon Snow. Oh, the Robin Hood. Where's the maid Marian? I am Robin Hood. I'm from Loxley. I am.
It's funny. It's funny because when I say Little John, I instantly think of Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and you're going a different way.
I was actually doing a little Eddie Izzard bit there because he thinks it's silly, like, Americans playing Robin Hood having no English accent. Like, where's the maid Marian? Let us kiss with tongues.
I love kissing with tongues, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, who open mouth kisses and doesn't use a tongue? That's fucking weird.
That would be weird. Let's try it right now.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It's much better when your tongue's in my mouth.
All right.
So, the bell.
You can ring my bell.
What did you think of the story behind it?
I didn't care.
You didn't care at all?
No, like...
Is it because you have to read? Is that what it is?
Completely unreadable for my dumb brain.
That's what it is. Is
It's
that the second that... I figured it out. You don't like Lalo because you have to read whenever he's on screen. You don't like the Germans because you have to read when they're on screen. So really all this comes down to is that you want to just relax and drink beer, but instead you have to work and drink beer while you're watching a TV show.
Reading's not work.
I see what it is.
No. I would say, like, subtitles can take away from the scene just because you don't get the context of the little tones in their voice, you know, the mood and the tone. Because if you don't understand that language, you don't know. People have complained on Reddit that...
the Spanish is
is bad, and they put emphasis on words in certain spots that it shouldn't be just because they know how to speak English and they think it should go that way. No, I don't care. I just don't care really about the bell. It was cool, all right, and it showed like, hey, they're both psychos. So
my note on that was, Jesus fucking Christ, how loud does that bell have to fucking ring?
It is loud.
That is exactly word for word what I wrote. And he's constantly hitting that son of a bitch, and it's just getting louder and louder. And I guess that's his laugh. I don't know, but it was annoying as shit.
Yeah, and it should only go tunk 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 tunk, since Lalo wrapped that like wire or whatever around the bell. Shouldn't even ding.
Completely unwatchable.
Not actually. Well, all right.
Go ahead.
On Reddit, somebody mentioned this, and then there was somebody who said, like, this is crazy how someone even know this, but
okay.
Or if it's even true, I don't know if it is. But that more expensive, fancy bells like that actually have their own little bell underneath, separate from that outside casing. Like, the outside casing part is not what actually rings the bell.
What the fuck?
I think that's plausible. I think that could be possible. Maybe I'll have to look that up and on the appeals court.
Okay.
But
that's in recess right now.
That way, they say that way it can be louder and it'll ring for longer.
Okay, plausible. I'll give you that. I'll give it the old Mythbusters plausible.
And I could see maybe if like a fancy bell like this could maybe be made of a certain metal to where it could have a fancy design, but that design itself is not going to ring very well or have the right tone that you want. And if you have a bell underneath that casing separate from it, that you could have whatever kind of bell and tone you want.
It was kind of funny to think that
you're not limited by just that.
He's been banging that bell for so long in the actual show, because right now it's perfectly fine, but over time that stem starts getting bent.
Oh yeah, it does.
So you would think that over time of him doing that, eventually that would cause the bell to not hit right, so it wouldn't ring as loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one note that I had on that was like, holy hell. And then whenever he tells Nacho to go get him some Jell-O, my other note was, and this is my drunk mind right here, I was like, you think he wants to go get him some green Jell-O? Because that's my favorite of all the Jell-Os.
Why would it be green? Just because you like it?
Yes.
Is it like a Mexican thing?
Because it's lime.
Oh, right.
It went over your head, that joke did.
What?
Hey, remember last week when I was telling Chris to leave the jokes to us? Apparently not.
Yeah.
Because that one went over your head.
I just became Flynn. Do you have any breakfast?
Those breaking breakfast memes were the greatest things ever. My favorite one is a title card, and it just says... breaking breakfast. So stupid. But there he is in the background, like on his little crutches, but like it was like a struggle face.
I can't believe people didn't bring this up on Reddit. I mean, Kim on crutches is a complete callback to Walt Jr. Huh.
Oh my gosh, it is. We should post that on Reddit.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, she used to have a broken arm. Now she has a broken leg, a sprained leg.
She used to have a broken arm. Now she's got cerebral palsy. I see it. I see it.
It's totally what happened. It's totally what they were trying to do. All right, yeah, fucking Shickadance got his bell.
And the last thing in that scene that I have to bring up when he
the racist lady,
yes,
that hides her purse.
Yes, I fucking loved it.
All right, I will say something that's weird. Like, he's wearing a leather jacket. I mean, if I see someone wearing a leather jacket out in Albuquerque, yeah, it's I don't know what you're doing there, bruh.
He could be riding a motorcycle, bro.
Yeah, but you take it off.
No, not all the time.
It's not really a motorcycle jacket.
Sure it is.
Nah.
One of those crotch rocket motorcycle jackets?
No.
Yeah, and he wouldn't be riding one of those.
It's more like a Segway jacket, maybe.
Okay,
but...
I'll give him the Segway jacket.
Fag.
Hashtag cancel it.
Hashtag South Park. Yeah, the lady, I did notice that. I'm like, oh.
I was dying laughing, like, out loud. It almost made me pee my pants a little bit. I was dying.
It was a little good addition for, humor.
Yeah. I mean, the whitest of white lady sees the two brown guys walk in and go talk to the guy that doesn't talk.
Yep.
And they look sketchy. Come on. They definitely look sketchy.
I think Nacho does look sketchy a little bit, maybe.
Oh, I think Lalo looks even sketchier. It's that suave hair he's got.
Oh, man. How he talks. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. Got it in there. I've been missing that one.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't said it for a couple, I think. Seems like a nice guy. No. Lalo? No. Seems great. I'd like to hang out with him.
Fuck that noise. No. Nah. He's a Salamanca. And they brought it up on the Insider podcast, and I never thought of it like this until they brought it up, so maybe nobody else has thought of this either. But up until this point, every single Salamanca that we've met has been kind of a loose cannon is an understatement.
Yeah.
He's somewhat grounded a little bit more. He's not basically as crazy.
He's not as brutish and just like in your face, like violence. Like, well, they said like how the twins or the cousins are like like a hammer. He's not like that.
No.
There's a reason
that he's up there, though.
That's interesting. How I'm glad they brought him in. I hope we see a lot
of him, like in the next season or something like that. I do too. I think if Nacho was going to stay in that role for too much longer, it would be played out, and it would get, I don't know, kind of stale. It was much needed. I think so. So
what's not stale is Gus's chicken. It's delicious. Yeah. Oh, segue. Oh, do you want to get into that one, or you want to go in order?
We can talk about that. I'm trying to think.
Well, in that scene, pussy ass Lyle comes in and it's like, those guys are back, man. Fucking Lyle.
I wrote for my note on this one. The chicken shack scene is a hell of a game of chess, because that was beautiful, right? Gus walks up and Lalo's just sitting there sucking his fucking fingers, just sucking the grease off his fingers. Damn, this is some good ass chicken. You ever thought about franchising?
Is that how he talks?
No, but
oh, here we go again.
This is some good ass chicken. You ever thought about franchising? Well, I've already got 7 across the state. Well, let's continue this up. You got a place to talk? As soon as they get in the office, it's just like, it's on. You can definitely tell that Gus he ain't happy.
No, he gave Nacho a good look, So Nacho's like, what, dude?
I have to follow.
It's weird
orders.
that he didn't have any moment to call Gus and, warn him or tell him. I don't know.
Yeah, especially considering at the end of the scene, which I'm kind of jumping ahead a bit, but that was a weird moment when he's like, he's got this distribution in this chicken farm down the road, and he's just kind of like, I got nothing else to do. Take me there. Littering.
Yeah.
Throws the fucking the Diet Cola. I'm assuming it's Diet Cola out the window.
Oh, okay.
Because it ain't Mexican Coke.
Oh, yeah.
No.
But it's not the sugar, the cane sugar
with real cane sugar. So what?
Now it's Splenda.
I really liked that back and forth between them in the office.
Yeah, it was really good. Like Lalo's kind of like feeling out Gus in a way and bullshitting him. I mean, I think it's bullshitting him to see what he's going to say.
I agree
about like, oh, hey, you could why don't you just do this on your own with us, huh? Well, don't worry about Don Eladio and his pool. Yeah, Gus is like, nope, I like my arrangement.
It's like Gus is like, that's a bad idea. Let's just keep things the way they are. Just fucking with
Perhaps we shall keep things the way they are. Perhaps. Just maybe perhaps. Perhaps we should. Perhaps.
He does say perhaps a lot.
I don't think he said it once this episode, though.
No, he did, like 19 times.
Probably, and I'm just so used to it.
Yeah, that it's natural at this point.
You think Gus might, because Lalo says he'll be back for some of that delicious chicken. Do you think Gus might poison Lalo?
No.
With some poisoned chicken?
No.
No?
No.
Because why? Because it'd be fucking stupid? I didn't have any theories on this, so I was like,
yeah, no.
I was like, oh, look, he said he's going to be back for chicken. Maybe he just accidentally chokes on a chicken bone.
Oh, my God, that would be so
just
good,
be
right?
accidental, like death. Everybody's thinking there's going to be something crazy that happens.
Yeah. Oh, my God. like he's like, ooh, have you seen these new things? They're called Segways. Boom. While he's sucking down a piece of fucking, like a drum. Ah.
You can ride these and eat chicken at the same time.
We should do a double franchise.
Nacho, give me a leather jacket.
No, it was that. Once again, that I like this little. One, I'm curious as fuck to see what Gus is gonna do because Gus he's already put Hector in the wheelchair, and instead of nursing him to full recovery, he's like, no, fuck that. Now he's gonna suffer.
Yep.
So he thinks I put Nacho into play as the ringleader for now until Lalo comes around. Now he's got to step back and be like, okay, so this is the game that's being played. How am I going to beat this? So that's what I'm really curious to see what's going to go on from here.
Do you think Lalo thinks that Gus did that to him?
I do.
To Shickadance?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Seems like it.
Mm-hmm. It almost feels like
when I read from the acting.
That's how it felt to me anyway.
Yeah.
That absolutely he feels like he played a part in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe things will come to terms and he'll have to just be like, dude, no, it wasn't me, it was Nacho.
Because he said
I was going to keep him alive. I had way worse things I was going to do to him, but
yeah, he said, you're the one that even though there's no blood loss because fucking Hector killed your fuckboy or whatever he did, his brother or his lover, whatever, that you've got
chicken brother.
Yeah, you got some shit that you might want to do to him, but no, you saved his life.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm also like, why? He's not dumb. He's not Tuco. Let's just put it that way. He's not dumb.
Yeah.
He's not one of those types of hotheads. He's that thinking man's hothead.
Right. Yeah, because I don't think Tuco was dumb. He seemed to be able to put things together sometimes, It's just that he was psycho.
He's methed out, bro.
Yeah. Like, he's just fucking psycho. He's kind of smart, but just psycho.
That's street smart, but he's also
that's what I
extremely
was gonna
paranoid
say.
too.
Yeah, that type of, you could call out bullshit and put things together, if someone's trying to scam him. Got anything else about Gus? That was it, basically, right? For the Gus and Shickadance and Lalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to go back to that diner scene.
Okay.
Was it just me, or did she squirt ketchup on a tomato?
I didn't even notice what they're eating.
So they had fries.
Uh-huh.
The fries were left on the plate.
Did she put like salt on it and then ketchup or something?
It looked like
Don't people do that?
So like there was the lettuce
Mm-hmm.
and a tomato, and it's like she poured the ketchup on the tomato, I guess, so that it didn't get on the plate or something, and it didn't ooze onto the other the other fries. I don't know, but it was really weird. Because I've never seen that before. I was half expecting her to make like a sandwich out of it, like take the lettuce wrap. So you've got a lettuce, tomato, and ketchup sandwich that she's just gonna eat. I thought it was fucking weird. That was my drunken theory, by the way. I'm like, she's gonna make a fucking BLT without the B and put on some K. So it's a BLK. What the fuck? Well, actually, fuck, it would be a LTK, lettuce, tomato, ketchup.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that. Yeah, to see what they eat. Yeah.
I know that fries were involved for sure because it instantly made me order fries.
You did order some fries when you watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get some Uber Eats or something? Which I don't even know if it exists here in St. Louis.
No, but Pizza Hut has fries on their menu.
You were at Pizza Hut watching it?
They're not good. No, I ordered it to my house. They're not good fries.
Oh, okay.
They kind of remind me of Applebee's fries.
All right.
That's the fat guy coming out. So
I haven't been to Applebee's for a while.
What did you think about the exchange between Kim and Jimmy at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. So what all do they talk about? So Jimmy says, customers know me by Saul. I'm going to have my license back soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Then Kim, they talk about like how Kim only wants to use the powers for good.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's like, how is scamming the bank branch using their powers for good?
Mm-hmm.
Kim doesn't even respond.
No,
So she doesn't really want to acknowledge, I guess, that it's true, or she just doesn't want to get into it. Start an argument. I'm not getting into this with you right now.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Do you remember that on the Insider podcast?
I'm not getting into this with you right now.
Do you remember that on the Insider podcast?
She said something like that, right?
Basically, what they said was that she gave him the look like, I know what I did was wrong. Why do you got to like rub it in my face type thing?
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those. It was essentially don't call me on my bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you call me on my bullshit? And I never really thought about it like that, but it's so true. Anytime that Jimmy has spoken the truth, like later on, whenever they're up on the roof, which that was a fucking awesome scene, but he's calling her out, and she didn't want to have anything of it. Like no, this isn't about me. This is about you.
Yeah. So
that was almost kind of like part one.
Yeah, for sure.
Of we're not here to discuss what I did. You know, and it was weird. I thought it was just so weird. That's why I wanted to bring it up. I just thought it was odd because I never noticed it before, but now little things that she does like that are starting to pop out. Thinking back, it's like, oh, she's really been like this the whole time. Just never noticed it as much.
Yeah. She usually is a little more silent on a lot of things, So.
But think about the year that they've had in reality. I mean, they've both gone through some crazy shit in this past year.
Well, they're basically, and then they're showing, basically 9 months or 10 months of them basically not interacting at all. At least that's what they're showing us. Obviously, you're getting some interactions, but they're eating quietly, brushing their teeth together, but not saying anything. They're not probably being physical with each other. I don't know, man.
And when they are, they have their clothes on.
Yep.
I wrote down, and I guess this was my drunken theory, that this was the moment where Jimmy became Saul.
Wait, say that again.
This was my drunken theory. Apparently, this is where, like, this has to be the moment where Jimmy is sitting there basically telling her, like, this is who I'm gonna be, like, basically be Saul, because like you said, in a week or so, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be this.
I guess so.
That's just what my drunken mind wrote.
All right.
So that's drunken theory at this point, 62.
All right.
For just this episode alone.
Yeah.
Like I said, I took a lot of fucking notes on this episode. I
Note taking Jimmy.
I really did dig the fuck out of this episode.
You were not slipping Jimmy Lopez.
No.
You were note taking Jimmy Lopez.
So now we're going to get on to probably your least favorite part of this episode.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, in the category I put in for my notes, at the top it says stupid fucking Germans. So I don't know why you think I don't like the German stuff.
Who do you think made the mistake of not wiring the blast cap properly?
I don't know.
Do you think it was Kai?
He was putting them in there. He was the one putting them in there. So, I mean, it's possible just to make a simple mistake and it not be anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's not that many explosives in there. And that's like the most fucking important part. If you don't even connect the damn wire, or you don't connect it tight enough to where when you're delicately sliding it down the hole that the wire comes loose, you're a fucking moron, all right? I don't care if you're an electrician or not, because, yeah, I'm an electrician. So but that's not why I'm saying that. Like, it's not that hard to tie that stuff together. Anyway, that actually doesn't bother me. Sure, mistakes can happen and whatnot. I just think it was just a general mistake that Kai made. I think the scene for me, how I was reading it, it almost seemed... I was thinking maybe he's going to connect it and Kai's going to go, kaboom!
See, I wrote in my notes, I said, he's not making it out alive. Yeah. I really thought that maybe like a bead of sweat drips off and it connects or causes a spark or something, and boom, and he gets hurt. And because I wrote, he ain't going home to his wife.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Yeah. So I felt like there was actual drama going on, and I thought that I didn't understand his hand.
I didn't understand any. I wasn't understanding any of it all. So,
but he gets the wire,
Nope.
put back together, puts the blast, he puts the charge back down the hole, makes it back up. Mike notices that he's fucking shaking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where help me understand this scene. Everything's good to go. You light the box. So you turn it on, you power up the box.
Yep.
You flip the switch that arms it. Now you're ready to blow. In 3, 2, 1. Tells the driver to go, and he pulls out into traffic and hits a speed bump, and that's what masks the sound of a blast.
Completely unwatchable. I thought the same thing. I thought it was a little silly. I guess at least they'd have something there as an excuse. And most likely no one would really care or look into it anyway, maybe. They're doing it at night. There's probably no businesses really open right around there, I
mean,
think.
Unless they're thinking of somebody that has like CC, closed circuit cameras around their buildings.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me, so that whenever the cameras shake a little bit, it's because the truck hit the ground.
It would be really loud if that truck went across those speed bumps. There's like 4 fucking speed bumps there. It'd probably be pretty fucking loud. But yeah, for a blast,
that was a dud.
Yeah,
and pun intended.
I thought it was it didn't really go over well for me. I'm kind of like, oh, just a truck.
And then,
but what else could they even do? I don't know.
But then to immediately go into a quote unquote bar scene where they're sitting there drinking beers and being like, a German, Mike, have a beer with us, a German. I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I am on your side on this one. I cannot stand the Germans.
Mike goes over and talks to Werner, pussy ass fucking Werner. Son of a bitch. Oh, I hope he dies a really, really horrible slow death.
I mean, we thought this entire season that Kai was going to be the one that was a fuckhole.
Yeah.
Turns out it was.
He cheats in basketball. That son of a bitch. I mean, I guess he has to, because if you watch when Mike and Werner were talking, there weren't a lot of shots being made in the background there when those two guys were playing. One shot was made out of like 10. It was not good.
I love that shit. Well, yeah, because
they cannot play basketball.
Well, I was going to say
neither can I.
They should be on the fucking soccer pitch instead of playing basketball.
You would think after 10 months of like practicing basketball, they'd be,
oh no,
LeBron James.
No, you give me 10 months of practicing basketball, I'm going to be even worse. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I have never been good at it. Horse was not my jam.
That was all right.
I played pig so that I could get out of it really quick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, pig, I'm out.
I don't even want to pick up a basketball and try to shoot at a hoop because it'd probably be horrible, like and embarrassing how bad I'd be at a basketball right now. I haven't played in years. Like
you're like, check this out. Airball.
Yeah, no, it probably would be. And it'd probably be embarrassingly short.
And you're still underthrowing it. You're still granny shot. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So Mike goes over talk.
Oh my god!
My notes to pussy ass dumb fuck Warner.
I have to tell you this. My drunken note right here. It says Herman shit is boring. So clearly I couldn't even write German. I was so drunk when I wrote this.
I thought you were trying to say Ermin Trout.
Herman shit is boring. And
Mike Ermin shit. Yeah, Werner misses his wife's sweet tits. He gets to give her an extra call. So Mike says extra call. Mm-hmm. So these people have been able to make contact with people outside, which to me is pretty surprising because I know they monitor the phone calls and whatnot. I guess the guys are probably told, hey, if you say something, that's pretty much it for you. We'll kill you. They know the consequences if they say anything about the job itself, specifics.
I always go back to thinking about how there'd
be huge consequences.
Whenever you hire somebody to put a safe, like a hidden safe or a false wall in your house, like you're trusting you're paying that person for their discretion. So, I mean, at some point, these guys know that they're building something, but they don't know what they're building.
Yeah.
I mean, they know enough to make sure that it's structurally sound. But these guys don't know what they're actually building. They just know that that somebody's paying them a lot of money to keep a hole in the ground very secret.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
Because they don't really know where they're at.
They're like, yes, we build sex dungeons like this all the time in Germany.
I was trying to do a German accent, but I was just like, "Un." Yeah. At some point, they know, like I said, they know that they're being paid a shit ton of money. Because when I was rewatching Breaking Bad for that scene for the appeals court, he says you've got an $8 million lab in the ground. Right. So we know that they spent like $8 million in basically making the lab. So they did spend a lot of money for a very expensive hole in the ground that no one's supposed to know about.
And really, it seemed like it actually cost more than that, to be honest. But
I don't know what the German exchange rate is, though.
Well, just considering they've been doing it for over 10 months, how many guys are there? 10? How much are you paying each one?
Well, fuck.
To make it worthwhile, to be secretive, to be not in contact,
Well, fuck. Gale says. Whenever he's cutting the boxes open for all this stuff, he's like, if you worry about the price tag on this baby right here, and he hits the little tank, he's like, this would be at home in Pfizer. Yeah. So those are fucking expensive to begin with.
They're crazy expensive. I work at a place right now that's a manufacturing plant. They have stainless steel tanks, insanely expensive. to have stainless steel tanks, no matter what it is. Even small ones are fucking outrageous.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they paid him some money, but I bet they only paid him like $3-4 million, because the rest of the money's got to go into getting. Think about this: who are they paying to wire that? Was it Mike Daffron?
Are you saying 3 or 4? Yeah, right.
Was it Mike Daffron?
See, that's what I was thinking. They were going to take care of everything. Like, they had a crew who could do everything, is what I would assume.
Which, and here's another thing too. One thing that I was always wondering is, this thing is going to be drawing a shit ton of power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that the whole point of the laundromat was, well, the justification for it is that they pull a lot of power from this anyway. It's not going to be that different. When I went back and rewatched
Hank talks about that.
That laundromat is way fucking bigger than it looks like.
Yeah.
When they show them pulling up, I didn't realize it was probably 2 or 3 times the size of what I thought it actually was. So that fucking place is gotta be going through some electricity.
Right.
Gotta be.
Yep. But Hank mentions that in Breaking Bad about, like having these 2 separate services, and like he's like, oh, I talked to electricians on the internet, and you'd be surprised or whatever. We can learn from the internet. Ugh, excuse me. And that was another one of the reasons, like, Hank, kept pursuing it. He's like, this is weird. I mean, why would they need that much power? So, as an electrician, I wouldn't think it's that weird.
No. Because your power coming in the building doesn't necessarily say what is being output to machines. So, I mean, you could have a shit ton of just open banks that for expansion and stuff. So,
yep.
I definitely agree with you on that. But that's my thing. When I heard that, when I was going back to look, I kind of put like 5 and 8 together, and I'm like, this whole thing only costed $8 million. How much? Like, these Germans are getting shafted?
That's what I'm thinking. Because Mike even says in this episode, like, oh, the amount of money you make from this job, you'll never have to be away from your wife again. $8 million, the cost of the project itself, the cost of that building that they stay in, which, who the fuck cleans that building? Who cleans up all that cum? Huh? These guys are just jerking it everywhere.
Yeah.
Who cleans that up? Is there a jerk room? There should be a separate jerking room.
Maybe they just cap.
I would have set that up.
They just cap it and go into the toilet. I don't know.
No way. Germans definitely don't do that. If there was somebody German listening right now, we don't do that.
They're like Stan.
Fucking Americans.
Like Stan from South Park. Oh, there's a ghost in the room. There's ectoplasm everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh. So I will agree with you. I did write on my notes that I'm about done.
I hope so bad that this next episode like makes all this German stuff worthwhile and like fills my heart with happiness and satisfaction. And I don't regret the 10 hours watching the show. Well, really, no matter what happens, I won't regret. I still enjoy the show. I still enjoyed this episode. It wasn't like definitely not like a fucking hated it. It was completely stupid.
You have to admit,
completely unwatchable. But like I said, I miss on a little. I don't know.
The death of Chuck is definitely the turning point, because this season is really hands down so much different than the other ones. Mm-hmm. Yes, a lot of stuff. When you go back and rewatch this, because you will, a lot of stuff has happened in this season. A ton of stuff has actually happened that is going to, in my opinion, makes this season so memorable and so rewatchable. But it really is. That was the pivot point where it went from bumbling Jimmy essentially to the Saul Jimmy that, this is for sure completely different from the rest of the seasons. And that they're only going to have probably 1 or 2 more seasons. Yeah.
I think that might be something too that, with Breaking Bad, it's hard to do a prequel, because I know where some things go at least. I know the stakes of some things aren't as high as death. Because I know Jimmy's not dying. Mm-hmm. We know
Mike is not.
Mike isn't. We know Gus isn't. You know, and then the characters we don't see in Breaking Bad, we can kind of assume maybe they do. So that takes a little bit away from it. But I'm not really worried about stakes being death. Like I don't need that. That's not really what entertains me in this show anyway. Like, I don't know. Just like the stakes with Jimmy and Chuck was amazing. You know. Mm-hmm. So I don't necessarily feel
that was just the cat and mouse game. Between a brother that didn't feel like his younger brother deserved what he was. He thought that he was just riding on his coattails. I've said it before. And he definitely didn't feel, because later, speaking of, you know, he didn't feel like he deserved it because he just went to the Isle of Samoa Law School. And later that comes into play big time.
Yeah. You know, another thing, like there's not really anybody pursuing Jimmy right now for anything, or like, there's not really a back and forth, like just because like him and Kim are basically getting into their own trouble by themselves. Like no one's forcing them to get into this trouble. I guess that's I don't know, maybe that's part of it too. You know, and I actually watched a decent amount of Breaking Bad
recently,
season 4. Yeah, so you know, Saul Goodman, he's in. There's a lot there with Saul Goodman because of who he's interacting with.
My girl Francesca's in it a lot.
Yeah. She wants $20,000 from Walt for the door. I don't know. I think it might be $20,000 for a contractor to come in here and fix this door. Walt doesn't get it right away, and he's talking about like, what? That's impossible. No reputable contractor would ever charge that.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Because it just goes to show that no matter what, he was still that naive.
Yeah.
Because especially when the box cutter came out, you know, he's like, if you kill Jesse, you don't have me. And, you know, without Jesse, we can't do this. So that's when there's an $8 million lab right here, and you need the two of. Oh shit! Oh God, he's bleeding all over me. Don't get it on my Birkenstocks. Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh God!
I wonder how many times Walt like says Jesse in the show, and not like, "Hey Jesse," like Jesse, what are you doing, Jesse? Like
turn that into a drinking game.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that'd be bad.
That would be Breaking
Bad.
Yeah. All right, let's
watchersonthecouch.com.
OnyxSideStudios.com. All right, so yeah, let's go through this German stuff. Let's see, you got anything? I think it's a voltage spike on a camera from a laser.
So we're going to completely skip over Jimmy and Kim.
No, I was just going to finish the German stuff out.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Okay. We don't have to.
No. Let's bring it up. We've already talked about it. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
I agree with you. Because this, I get. What we haven't talked about is how they should have ended the episode, which is the Jimmy and Kim part at the end.
I think so, too.
Because, yes, this German thing was quite a bit of a twist. Definitely.
They did end with Jimmy and Kim.
I thought they ended with the
No, they ended with Jimmy and Kim. Yep.
On the roof.
No. They ended with Jimmy and Kim in Kim's apartment.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about this.
Completely unlistenable.
We'll talk to that. We'll talk to that. We'll talk about the completely unlogical way that he escaped back to Germany. Spoiler.
Yeah. And completely illogical way of turning on the lights. Where's your light switches, guys? Come on.
It's just.
I know the lights are probably 480 volt, but you know they make light switches to control that.
It's a panel light.
It's a disconnect. Yeah, it's a large disconnect. So.
Oh my god.
Those high bay lights would draw a decent amount of power.
Can I ask you this?
So it would be cheaper just to use those disconnects, and it's probably temporary, so it would be okay.
Did you know? Did you know what Mike saw? Whenever, because he was looking at the screen, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, motherfucker!" and then grabs friggin' the big dude and's like, "Come with me, you stay here."
He saw pixels.
Okay, but did you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Went way over my head. If I didn't listen to the Insider podcast, I would have had no idea why that even. I had no idea.
Oh, you didn't notice the pixels?
No, I noticed the pixels, but I didn't understand like why that was a big deal. Because in my head, I'm like, I mean, I've had bad televisions where pixels were dead before, so.
Yeah, but he also says that one of the guys says, "Oh, there was a power surge or something, a voltage spike," and then Mike thinks that's weird for one. So then he's like, "Any other cameras?" And then he sees, "Oh, there's only these specific cameras." He's like, "Something's up." So he goes and checks.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe something would have been up. It could have been easily. Yeah, I guess that some of the cameras got fucked up.
It's a solar
But
flare.
He goes checks.
Solar flare.
But yeah, Werner, I guess, uses a laser. Oh, and I thought too. I thought everybody escaped. I must have looked down or looked away when all the other German guys walked out of their little mobile house.
Yeah.
Because I thought they all escaped. I watched it a second time, and I'm like, oh, it was only Werner.
Well, it was hilarious.
All right, cool.
Was...
I actually like that better than everybody escaping. That makes way more sense.
Yeah. It's so funny because that one guy, he's like the one guy that hasn't walked out of the house yet. It's because he's still jerking off, and he's like, "Oh God, the lights came on." Fuck.
Oh yeah, right.
He's got his little flashlight looking at his little Playboy because they didn't have intranet back then on their cell phones.
Yep.
Didn't get their phones from CC Mobile, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But even listening to the Insider podcast, I'm still not 100% sure as to what the science is behind. I guess you shine a laser light into the.
I think it's you shine the laser into the camera and then it'll overload the sensor.
So this is why when you go to a wrestling show, they say no laser pointers.
I think so. I actually did.
I thought
look this up.
I thought it was to be like in the wrestler's eyes, but.
Oh yeah, that's definitely why. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so you don't point them at the wrestlers, and yeah. But I did look. I did 2 minutes of research. I'm an expert now. I can make all kinds of comments on the internet about it. I know what I'm talking about. So on the Insider podcast, he said, yeah, it's not true. That wouldn't work. It'd only work if it was like camera 60 years ago. But on the internet, it seems like it could be possible that could do some damage.
What is it doing? Since you're the expert, and I'm clearly fucking confused at what's going on.
I guess it's overloading the light sensor, because a laser is a high focus, powerful beam of light, and I could see that permanently damaging the sensor. Maybe. I'm completely talking out of my ass right now.
But see, here's my question. So he's got to stand on the roof and shine the laser in there, and then like climb over the railing while keeping the laser shine there, and then go down the ladder while keeping the laser shine there.
I think it cuts out for a little bit. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
That's the spike that they were saying that they registered.
It'll spike and it'll be out for, I don't know, a little while. Although, for him to have to cut through a lock with a hacksaw, that would take a really fucking long time.
Mm-hmm.
To harden steel through a master lock, that would take so long.
Well, I've recently watched an awesome movie on Netflix called Terrifier.
Okay.
You can do some stuff with a hacksaw. That's all I'm saying. And it's not a wood blade. It's a metal blade.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more teeth there.
All right.
It's something he does to the human body. Anyway.
I don't know. Again, like some of this little stuff like that doesn't really bother me all that much. Just kind of go along with it. I wish there was something better. I do wish they made it more plausible, or like if that's not an actual thing, because what's his name?
Was it Vince Gilligan?
Vince, yeah, Vince said it. That no, it doesn't actually work. Well, Why wouldn't you figure out something else that would be plausible that could work? Instead of just be like,
well,
whatever, just go along with it, guys.
It is a television show.
That's not a big deal.
It is a television show, and you've got to suspend disbelief for a little bit. I mean, not everything can be 100% factual all the time.
Completely unwatchable.
It is.
After seeing that, I wanted to shine lasers directly in both of my eyes.
That's a little overreaction.
So I would be completely unwatchable on everything forward in my life.
So that nothing could be ruined because you've seen everything beautiful?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't need vision.
All right, so Werner escapes. Where the fuck is he going to go? I don't think he has his... There's no way he has his passport.
That's what I was
Unless he... Because didn't when they arrived, Mike got all their passports and shit?
I thought so.
They went through all their bags. Yeah. So unless he somehow stole the damn thing back, or he gave Mike a fake one...
He was hiding something in his prison purse. That's the butthole.
Oh, okay. I thought it was his fanny pack.
Oh, no. That would be Kai's ball bag.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he stores those in his mouth.
Yummy.
Kai.
That's what you call a Shickadance right there.
Dude, and how far away are they from anywhere else? Like, is it going to be easy to find Werner? Because aren't they just out in the middle of nowhere pretty much?
Well, okay, no. They're definitely Werner knows that they're in an industrial...
there's a city nearby.
Yeah. He knows. Okay.
But I thought he heard that in the car on the way. I don't think he could hear it.
He knows that they're in a city. He knows that they're in a city.
No. He says that about... Yeah, he knows they're... He knows the laundromat's in the city.
Mm-hmm.
The drive back and forth, I think, is pretty far away. To where the Germans actually stay, it looks like it's in the middle of the desert.
Do you think it's one of those things where they take the same route to the place every single day? Because that wouldn't be smart.
Maybe. I don't know if that'd matter. I'm saying it would depend on where it's at. And
also,
he's probably going to have to stick along a road.
What kind of German code was he speaking?
Because the desert's so big. And
what kind of German code was he speaking this is just my drunken theory, that his wife was able to tell him, okay, here's what you do. At the Cactus, you make a left, and you go down to I-95, and you make a right, and then you just hitch it until you get to Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know those roads, so...
I don't know. Does Werner have a wife? Is Werner, or is he like working for the FBI?
No.
Is he working for the German BI?
Yeah, the GBI.
Yeah. He's working for the German mob.
Ooh.
Yeah. German mafia. Germafia.
Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah. He's working for the Nazis.
Nope, didn't want to go there.
Okay. National Socialist Movement.
All the Jews. Exterminate!
He's working for the Jews.
Yes.
Maybe he turned it around. Maybe he's working for them, right?
He's working for the Jews now.
Right.
Yeah. Because the Jews are upset because Gus has money and the Jews want all the money.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
All right. Racist again.
Yep.
Oh, Jimmy.
So can we move on to Jimmy McGill Tokyo Drift?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. So before we get to that,
yeah, let's start at the hearing or whatever it is. Or
thought he snailed it. I thought he snailed it.
Yeah.
Even when that question was asked,
by that dumb bitch Meg. Fuck you, Meg. Now I'm going to ask you another question. The other two people are satisfied?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know if you're serious.
Also,
where's your manager?
I would.
She's one of those people.
Yes. I would think, does this committee have to be unanimous?
That's what I was thinking, because it seemed like those two people, like if it's 2 out of 3, those other 2 people seem fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think that Meg bitch has something over them.
So it's like a jury. A jury has to vote either all or it's a hung jury.
Oh, it could. Yeah, all right. It could be that. Yeah, maybe it does have to be unanimous. I would think it'd be 2 out of 3. I think it'd be a majority.
2 out of 3 branches of the government are around, and that ain't bad. Mars attacks.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it does have to be unanimous. Either way, Meg's a bitch. Yeah. He nailed it. Don't. I think she believed him about, because like, oh, that's very eloquent. I think she believed him there. But then, why is it that he said, I don't know. I guess that gets explained when Kim's like, "What are you talking about, Chuck?" But
because he doesn't need to talk.
They
about
were
Chuck.
expecting that. I mean, and what if fucking his school that he went to go land crabs? Maybe that was part of his inspiration.
First off, it's
why
bullshit.
does it have to be?
It's bullshit to think that the only reason that he's going to get a job back or get his lawyers, be debarred, rebarred.
Mm-hmm.
Is he be rebarred?
Rebarred, yeah.
Okay, to be rebarred, is to like give his brother props. Like they don't know what's going on in his life. Him and his brother had a horrible legal battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he had to go on the record and say he was sorry, but everyone knows that he wasn't sorry.
And his brother burned himself alive. Like, why would he want to fucking even if he loved him and his inspiration, like, maybe you just don't want to fucking talk about that and bring that up.
Right.
Maybe you just want to get your fucking license back and go on with your life.
That's what I'm saying. I just think that what Kim brings up later on should hold no weight whatsoever into him getting his license back. It makes no sense. Like, why would he have to sit there and show his compassion for his brother to get his license back? Yep. The law should have nothing to do with that. He either is fit, which we know he's not, or he is, or he's not, and that it should. The law is black and white.
Right. Yeah, it's fucked up. Like, it just goes on somebody's opinion.
Not to mention, he sits outside the room, patiently waiting.
He did his time, for his suspension or whatever. So
I guess you could also say the same thing for anybody that's been in the prison system and they come out of prison and they can't get a job because they've been in the prison system.
Yeah, and it's fucked up.
So, I mean, I understand that. I do get that. But here's the other thing that I thought was really fucked up. So he's sitting there waiting patiently. They make a decision. And they don't even have the ball. Like, do you think that they're like, oh shit, he's sitting out there, we can hear him breathing. Let's go out this back door real quick. All right, Tammy, you go on out there. You just take your little laptop and go on out the door. Have a nice day.
Tammy, you have to go out that door. We get to go out this other door.
Pulled race into that one. Pulled race into that one. How do you think that conversation went? Do you think that the two were like, I think that he's well suited, and the other one was just like, well, I don't really. I'm Meg, and I can't ask the manager, so I'm gonna say no.
Right. I didn't really like both of them. I think he's sincere enough. Sincere. That's how she says it. Sincere. Not sincere. Sincere.
Fucking sincere.
It definitely. I like it though, because Jimmy is crazy upset as he should be, and I'm upset with him.
Yeah, the note and that's what I'm looking at right now.
It works.
I did not see that coming, especially considering Breaking Bad at some point, like, we have to get there. And if they're only going to, like, where is this? Because he has to wait another year to file now. Another fucking year.
Yeah, a whole year? That seems ridiculous.
A year. Because that's what he tells him. He's like, well, you can file in another year. And that's when he's like, fuck! And I'm like, there's the F-bomb right there. Yeah. There it is.
Did he say fuck then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he said it twice this episode?
Mm-hmm.
So is that a 3 count on this season?
I think so.
Whoa.
Is that the official C count?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I want to punch fucking Meg in her C word. Punch her right in her cuchata. Goddamn cuchata.
Yeah. So, the freak out, I will say this, the freak out definitely did not help him for the next one.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But he didn't really freak out too much in front of that one guy, right?
The guy knew it was justified, though. That's the thing that's crazy.
Yeah.
He knew it was justified. I did love because like when he throws the briefcase against the wall, there was an older gentleman walking down the staircase, and he just kind of like he didn't make eye contact with him, and he just kind of like leaned his body away from like, I don't get hit me. Okay, thank you. I just want to get to the hot dog cart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This whole scene was fucking amazing. I think that's why I liked this episode so much. This was the courtroom scene, I guess, from last season for me. Even though it was much shorter, but once again,
yeah, I wish more was said.
Yeah.
It was really good though, but I do wish more was kind of said. But I don't know if more needed to be said though either, you know? So I don't have a complaint about it really. But if I'm going to give opinion on a podcast or try to make talking points, I don't know. I'm going to try to talk Saul. Yeah, it worked pretty well. And that's something where it really worked, but I kind of wish this was maybe last episode or episode before. Like, I don't know. I feel like the build up to get to that point, I think took a little long.
So
episode 9 to get to that point for them to just kind of have a conversation or an argument about how things are going.
Well, you completely skipped over. Are we talking about with Jimmy and Kim on the roof now?
Yeah.
Well, you skipped over Tokyo Street Drift, Jimmy McGill
right.
flying up that.
Yeah, why do they have to go up to the roof?
The only thing that makes sense to me.
Cinematography.
No. See, my
permits to film.
They did get some super sweet aerial shots though.
Is one of these, because it does show them on the roof, that one over like across the street there's another like parking garage, or one of these the ones where Gus is at and then Walt is looking across at him, and Gus for some reason has fucking sixth sense that never gets explained. He's like, I think perhaps something is wrong here. I shall not go to my car.
Perhaps I should call an Uber.
Yeah.
But he's like, gotcha, bitch. I rigged every Uber car in the tri-state area. Bam! And
none of Gus's cronies like even ask him like, something up, boss? Nope. They're just like, don't say anything to him. Don't say anything. You just stay by him. You never talk. Never talk to him.
If you talk to him, he doesn't feed you chicken.
Never talk to the hand that feeds.
He took the salsa away last time. I was pissed.
Oh, dang it. Need that hot sauce.
So, this is the second scene where Jimmy flat out calls Kim out on her bullshit. Mm-hmm. She's not having it. She's just not having it. And she pulls that, oh no, you didn't face. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go get me a pumpkin spice latte. And we're going to talk about this later tonight. But in reality.
Yeah, well, yeah. Kim explains this thing about Chuck and he didn't say it. And Jimmy's like, I don't fucking think about Chuck. All right. I had a brother and now he's dead. I had a guy and now he's dead. I had a guy, now he's dead. I had a guy and now he's dead. That's something Mike said in like Breaking Bad. I think somebody made a little thing on YouTube about it, a little song. It's kind of what Jimmy said, but Shit, I don't know, man. I guess that does. Still doesn't really explain it. You explain this to me.
Mm-hmm.
How Jimmy feels about Chuck. What you got from this?
The way that I feel about it is that his whole life, everything that he did for Chuck, everything, especially the latter years of their life, he got no respect whatsoever from Chuck. So, yeah, obviously he's going to be affected by it a little bit. But
do you think Jimmy's being honest?
I do.
Okay.
I think that in this moment,
yeah,
he's basically like, fuck Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I would say he probably is being honest. I would think he's definitely, I would think he's definitely being honest because in an emotional state like that, usually people just fucking say whatever.
He still has not told
like me
Kim.
the other night.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe this is leading up to the point where he finally tells Kim, look, this is what Chuck said to me. This is the last thing that Chuck ever said to me. And it was not nice.
He hurt my feelings.
Yeah. And that's really what this boils down to, is that Kim
it is weird that that's not said and
Kim
hasn't been said.
Still does not know what Chuck said to him.
That is pretty crazy that hasn't been brought up.
And I think a lot of that has to do with because he truly, genuinely he's let it go.
He's done with it.
Yeah, he's let it go.
He doesn't even want to deal with it. He's just done. He doesn't care. Doesn't need Kim to help him through any feelings, grief. He doesn't need it. He's done.
Mm-hmm.
He's moved on. So,
yeah, and that's hard for some people. You know, Kim feels like he needs to work through it, but Jimmy's. I get it. I hate to say it, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, once things are said, they can't be unsaid.
Yeah.
And once he said that to Jimmy, as much as it's family, and I hate to say that, oh, you can't cut family out. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone is that toxic in your life and is really just being that bad on your psyche,
mm-hmm.
family or not, you need to cut ties.
Yep.
So,
and those, words, those words are important. It's like if I poured this beer onto the table right now, it'd be really hard for me to get all that beer back into the can so I can put it in my mouth.
Yeah, but if you pour it on the table,
Giggity.
you could just slurp it up off the table.
Let's go.
Yeah, just do lines of beer. Ah!
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
No, that'd be awful. That would be awful.
I don't know. So
we get a commercial break, which you didn't get, but I get a commercial break.
No, I still got it, but I still had to fast forward through it.
So we get a commercial break, and it comes back, and Kim is drinking by herself, not listening to shitty music, just by herself. Jimmy walks in. Okay, what?
Walking in like a little fucking bitch, packing his shit up like a little pussy. It's kind of like Eeyore, or like, I don't fucking know. Or like,
so
like
you're saying,
or he's like, reminding me of like the jerk. I don't need that, and this is all I need.
So what
the ashtray, and the paddle ball, and this lamp, and that's all I need. Actually, it was nothing like that. But
so what you're saying is that
it was complete opposite of that. But
Jimmy McGill was emo before emo was cool.
He is being this kind of shit guaranteed that this happens like this. Like, I don't want to talk to her. I'm just going to grab my stuff. Hopefully she feels sorry for me. That's how Jimmy kind of is. Oh, I fucked something up. Could you please feel bad for me? Yeah. Kim does. Kim gives in. Because Jimmy's like, I messed it all up.
So you don't see this as two lovers just finally talking level-headed. You just see this as him tucking his tail between his legs and being like, I'm sorry, baby. I fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Just wondering. I can see that you're a little jaded. That's cool.
No, he went into the apartment, didn't say a word to her. If Kim didn't go up to him, he wouldn't have said anything. He would have had his shit. He would have left. Never talked to Kim again. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
So we don't really do this much,
But hey, we know Kim wants that D. I mean, Jimmy said it. Jimmy said it on the roof. He's like, "Oh, good enough to get this D, but not good enough to have an office together." It's basically what he was saying. You're good enough to pull it to the side.
God,
to get this D, but not have an office together.
Oh man, I know what that's like.
To not to be able to have an office with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've never done this before. Obviously, we're going to be really wrong about this. Bold predictions for the last episode.
Oh, I wish I thought about predictions before you said that.
I haven't either, and that's why I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just end the show on bold predictions real quick. I think that the German situation is over.
You think Warner's just gonna be gone and that's
it?
it?
No. I just think that him leaving fucked all of those guys and they're all toast.
Well, why?
Because he's always gonna have it in the back of his head that they helped him leave.
I don't know, man. I think he knows that Warner did it on his own.
Hey, I'm just throwing out bold predictions here, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Mike knows Warner did it on his own. And, hey, all right. So, did you see that there was a note left? We didn't even talk about that.
No, I didn't. There was a note left?
Mm-hmm. Like, Mike picks up a note. When he.
Oh, that's right.
It looks like Werner actually left what it looks like
instructions,
to finish it.
For Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of, okay.
So that puts a little bit different perspective on it, like, but man, this fucking German shit is just, he's leaving for his wife. I mean, look, I don't want to, like, I get it for love and whatnot, but like, if you took on that, if you did love somebody that much, you never would have left that person in the first place. And then I think there's something else going on.
You do?
Yeah.
There's your bold prediction right there.
Bold prediction. Werner is not who he says he is.
Okay. All right.
He's actually Kaiser Sose.
Oh, Lord. What do we think?
All right, he's Robert Kaiser Wilhelm.
Jesus Christ. What do you think? What do you think about Lalo and Nacho? Because I'm wondering why
Lalo gets poisoned with some nachos.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why he wants to go to the fucking chicken farm so bad. I know he wants to see the distribution, but do you think it's because he thinks we should be able to be smuggling more than 6?
I don't know.
Because
is he gonna kill Nacho there?
Well, because later,
is this Nacho? Is he done?
Down
like
the
Nacho's
road,
gonna fucking get hung up and strung up and
if you remember,
blood out.
If you remember in Breaking Bad, there is no, because right now they're sneaking it in like compartments that's got like fucking dirt and stuff over it. Later in Breaking Bad, they're sneaking it in buckets of chicken batter that have special stamps on them.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that this is where I'm like, maybe he's gonna be like, hey, there's a better way of doing this where we can sneak more in?
How are they sneaking in?
There's a plate on the ground, so whenever the trucks come in, there's a plate. He lifts the plate up and he pulls the bags out, because later they end up sneaking the drugs in the.
They haven't done that in Better Call Saul. They haven't put them in the chicken fat, or whatever.
See, I thought it was batter. I thought it was pre-mixed batter.
Oh yeah, I guess it could be that too. Whatever it is, chicken stuff.
Yeah.
Which I actually don't think works for dogs. I think they still smell that shit probably.
Yeah, but they're vacuum sealed too, so.
I would think they could maybe
I'm not saying
actually clean it up if they were really detailed about cleaning the bag. I don't fucking know. I don't care. It works. God damn it. I'm not picking that apart.
And then the last bold prediction.
Perfectly watchable.
And then the last bold prediction. I think Hector, he's gonna rail that old racist lady. He's just gonna just pound it out.
He's gonna ding her.
Just give it to her, yeah. You're gonna see the room and ding 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 ding.
Oh man,
ding.
I didn't say something. I'm really fucking tired of hearing Don Hector fucking breathe. Oh my god, his face. You do a pretty good job of it, Rip. If we had video, it's pretty good. Just, how would you feel about being him, that actor? Like, all right, what I want you to do in this scene.
I want you to shrivel your nose and your lips.
And breathe really annoyingly. In this next scene, what I want you to do is
stare intently
and breathe real annoyingly.
While missing the bell every so often.
Yeah.
I don't want you to hit it every time. You're too perfect on the bell. Your anger is going to make you miss the bell.
Oh shit! What word prediction were you making? What'd you say?
Oh, I said that he was going to have sex with the racist old lady.
What other predictions do we got? So with Jimmy and Kim, we know. That's the thing too. We know at least at some point Jimmy will get his license back, and maybe under Saul Goodman's name. Maybe that's part of it next week. That somehow they kind of pull a scam, but
maybe that's a good one right there.
They kind of pull a scam just to show how biased like it is.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that he's no longer Jimmy McGill and that he is Saul Goodman and he gets his license under that name.
I think that could be a possibility, maybe. I don't know. Like, they could do that. I don't know. Maybe he could. What if he changed his name and then retook the bar exam and passed that way? And I don't know. No one was the wiser.
It sounds like something.
And then if someone came after
him
and be like, hey, look, I don't know. Yeah, no, that doesn't really make sense, actually. I don't know. There's something going on that's going to... Bold prediction. Something's going to happen.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Next week. Appeals court. We called it, folks. Something happened. Holy shit.
Oh, man. I would just assume there's some type of scam, but...
Okay, here's my bold prediction. You ready for this?
To where they can show how biased like these people are in their opinions and how that's fucked up. That's not actual law. You know, you can't practice law under just, their opinion like that. That's fucked up.
My bold prediction.
But
Jimmy goes into the courthouse and just starts snapping necks. Secret Ninja style.
Jimmy does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at the very end, he snaps Kim's neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Gus, he gets a whole truck full of quat dies.
Okay. Okay.
And he sticks them on Lalo.
Oh, I was going to say he makes a snare out of them.
Yeah. He makes a nice coat. A quat die coat.
Nope, didn't work.
Quota.
Nope, didn't work.
Quota. I'll stop trying.
I say you could try and say like a quota.
A quota coat. No.
No.
What do you think, Gus? Gus has some plans to like keep Lalo in line. See, that's another thing we know from Breaking Bad. So we know Lalo's not going to be around. Motherfucker's dead.
Well, we think he's dead. Is he dead? Do we think he's dead?
Well, because Gus says to Hector that he's the last Salamanca. Everybody else is dead. Jesse shot like the last person, basically. His nephew or something, I think. Jesse shot him. It was when Gus poisoned everybody down there, Don Ladio.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. Dude, if you're listening to this podcast, 2, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad and you're only watching Better Call Saul, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. I guess there's nothing really wrong with that.
No.
Who knows? It could be better, actually.
Well, I was going to say,
there are people who like still think this show's awesome without watching Breaking Bad.
What's his name? The comedian that plays the vet, which we haven't seen in a while. He's probably dead.
Joe DeRosa.
Yeah, he hasn't seen it, but it makes sense too. His justification for it is, my character doesn't know anything that happens in Breaking Bad, so why do I need to be caught up on it? Doesn't make sense. So, I get it.
Well, Jimmy, I think that's all I got.
I think so
anything
too.
else, man?
I'm good.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. You can email us mike@watchersonthecouch.com. Visit onyxsidestudios.com and watchersonthecouch.com. Facebook page, Couch for Watchers. I'm Mike Daffron.
I'm Jimmy Lopez.
Thanks for listening. See you next week. Bye.